Tuesday, you hear him complain about something? Wait, yes it is. Alan Cox. On 100.7
110. You'll hear tomorrow's game, I believe, on WTAM. But tonight, here on MMS, Guardians, White Sox for you. Speaking of 2 hours to midnight, it's still a few days off, but just keep it on your radar if you are a metal fan. It's a show that we do on Saturday nights because the Guardians game is at 7:15 on Saturday. We'll either be on our normal time at 10 o'clock or right after the Guardians game, Saturday night. It's me, Corey Roddick, Pat Butler, the three of us, playing brand new metal, playing classic metal, playing your requests, playing local music. We'll have local music from Axioma and Dethrone the King this weekend. I'll have brand new music from Three Teeth. Those guys haven't done anything in a while. Brand new music from Scar Symmetry. We'll get some classic Motorhead, whatever else we throw in there. So Saturday night, normally at 10, right after the Guardians game this Saturday night. And anything you want to submit to us, request, if you're in a band, whatever. It's 2htm at WMMS.com. You can leave us messages on the after hours line. People who want to do that. 216-986-8903.
Hey, it's John in Akron. Just calling, wondering if Mary has seen the movie Fresh. It's a horror movie with a beginning, middle, and an ending. And also, hey, it's John in Akron. Just calling, wondering if Mary has seen the movie Fresh. It's a horror movie with a beginning, middle, and an ending. And also, particularly relevant to Mary Santora because it shows the dangers of talking with strangers in the grocery store. So, just curious.
All right.
Ooh.
You seen Fresh?
No, I've never heard of it.
This came out last year on Hulu. It's Sebastian Stan. You know who he is?
No, but I'm
Bill
looking
knows
it up
who he
right
is.
now.
Yeah,
He's good looking.
The Winter Soldier.
He's the Winter Soldier.
He
Yeah.
played Tommy in the Tommy and Lee, Pamela Lee thing.
Right.
Oh, he did?
Yeah.
He's
Yeah.
hot.
Yeah, he's a good looking dude. Yeah, he and a girl meet at a grocery store, and things go okay until she finds out some weird stuff. And it was a Hulu original. But he's right. It has a beginning, a middle, and an end.
There you go.
And it's a fun movie. It's gross enough, but not so much that I really can't tell you more because it'll kind of give away the whole crux of the thing.
Yeah, don't. Okay, yeah.
But yeah, watch it. Do you have
That sounds
Hulu?
right.
It's on Hulu.
She's got my Hulu.
I do have Bill's. Hulu.
God.
I also have Bill's HBO Max.
It's just Max now.
I have Bill's Max.
now. Yeah.
There's a show on Hulu that my girlfriend and I are watching from the year, I think it was like 2000. And they only did one season, but it takes place in Shaker Heights, and it's called Little Fires Everywhere.
Yeah.
I've heard of that.
That's a great show. We're about halfway
Isn't that like
through.
a chick show? Like Catherine
It's-
Hahn's in that? Isn't it?
It's Reese Witherspoon and
Yeah, I think Gwen watched it. Kerry Washington.
Kerry Washington.
Yeah.
But it's really interesting, and I mean, it's very tense, very, very tense.
I think it was a book.
It was a
It
book.
was a
Yeah.
book
yeah.
series.
Yeah, it was a series, or is a book. But it's really good, and like it's pulling me in. And there was like one scene yesterday that just like had me bawling.
Ooh,
'cause it
you're
was-
getting weak in your old age, Bill.
I'm just
Been
more
crying
in,
a lot.
I'm just more in touch with
He's in
my
touch with his
emotions, and I'm not
feelings,
afraid
man.
of them like I used to be. Where in the past I'd be like, oh, okay, but it was a very intense scene. And I was like, you know what, I'm gonna let it go. It was nuts.
Between Big Little Lies and Little Big Liars and Little Fires Everywhere, it's too much little.
Big Little Fires Everywhere. And they're lying about
That's
it.
the super group
Yeah.
that Kerry Washington is so foxy.
Yeah.
She's such a good actress.
She's
too.
a great actress, but she's like married to a retired football player, I think. But man, is she cute. She's almost 50.
She kills it on that show. She makes you like it's very layered, and I like a show like that where you're like, okay, I like this person, but I don't like this person. I'm like, oh, it's like real life.
I think that's one of the shows. Gwen has a handful of shows she watches without me, and I think that's one of them.
Well, they only had one season, so she probably finished it, but it's very good. And
so it's a standalone miniseries.
But I would say, like if you want something that's kind of thriller and like
drama
and deep, like it's very deep. There's a lot of
like Michael Jackson's
different themes with racism and sexism and stuff like that.
Yeah.
which, not always fun to watch, but
No.
it is interesting.
Speaking of racism and sexism, MAGA.
Yeah.
The latest thing that's making the right-wing snowflakes' heads explode is Target. And Target has announced their tuck-friendly adult swimsuits.
Okay.
Like, if you had to figure out like a corporate Mad Libs to make right-wingers freak out, it would be tuck-friendly swimsuits for adults, not kids. They're very clear on that. The Target Pride collection is for adults, not kids. It's for adults. Because you know how much people care about kids. They've made it very, very clear. They're always, what if kids?
What if kids could have free lunches? And they're like, no!
No! No. They don't care about kids. They care about using them for things when they're, But clothes are not going to make a kid gay, by the way. I hate to break it to you. Nothing external is going to make a kid gay. I'll bring them in. I'll show you what parents put me in when I was 5 and 6, and I'm as straight as they come. But I was in,
You look gay?
Come on, I was a kid in the 70s. Hells yes.
Everybody was gay in the 70s.
Weirdo patterned shirts and maroon pants.
Okay, but how am I supposed to explain bathing suits to my kids, Alan?
The tuck-friendly swimsuits are only offered in adult sizes.
But how am I supposed to explain it to my kids?
With
I
your
still
words.
have never had anyone explain to me why that netting is in the swimsuits.
I thought you guys just cut them out.
Keeps you twigging
I
berries
do.
right there, so
Yeah,
you're not
but
flopping
I have
all
a
over.
question. Okay, so for you guys,
That's the
this is
worst.
something I've thought about. When you get the bathing suit that doesn't have the netting,
Mm-hmm.
if you're standing in the ocean in like swim trunks, is it moving around?
Yes.
Yes.
Does that feel so cool? I feel like that would feel so cool.
It feels nice.
Well, it depends on how deep the water
Yeah.
is.
Like
and
you're
it's-
chest deep, like you're in an ocean or a deep lake. But you're standing.
Yeah.
Is it just
I
kind
mean,
of
it
like
depends.
swaying
Yeah,
with
it's
the waves?
well, I mean, mine's more like an anchor, so it doesn't sway too much.
Oh, you're in the sand. Got it.
Hello. Boy, this water's cold and deep. Yeah, you're swaying.
Does that feel cool?
Well, like when we're overseas, I'm wearing my cabana shorts though, and those are pretty tight, so I'm not doing any swaying.
That's not what I'm asking about.
Right, you're talking about like board shorts.
Board shorts
Yeah,
with no
right.
netting.
Yeah.
Swaying.
I mean, it
Is it
depends on how
fun?
much
I feel
the
like that would be
ocean
fun.
is moving, but yeah, it's fine.
But I like the netting.
nice.
I like it to be.
No.
Yes.
I don't think I've ever worn shorts without netting.
I like keeping things central.
Yeah.
Because my limbs are already moving in the water. I'm not a big swimmer, but I mean, I'll be in the ocean. And but anyway, the Target, and of course, obviously, it's going around right-wing media that it's in children's sizes, and of course, that's all made up, just to get the red meat into the rubes. But at a time where people are freaking out over their beer and Nike and everything else, Target is quick to point out these are only in adult sizes. There are no kid swimsuits in their Pride collection. There are some circular tags that read tuck-friendly construction and extra crotch coverage. You can get a one-piece with a multicolored pattern, or you can get black swim bottoms.
And
So
there's
there you go.
probably some people that just have a lot going on down there that they're not even trying to tuck anything, but maybe
Got a lot of meat.
they got a lot of meat. They got they got an Arby's down there.
Oh, come
so
on.
they're like, this actually works out great for me because I was self-conscious about all the
Yeah,
You have 5 kids
toe
in 6
showing.
years.
Yeah.
and you gotta tuck it all up,
Mhm.
that's right.
nice and tight, double lined, nothing
Yeah.
slipping out.
That's why the netting is good. The netting
For women too.
Yeah.
Yeah, listen.
Net
if-
up your junk,
Come
bro.
on, man. You don't want those curtains getting caught up in anything.
You don't want them out swaying. That'd be...
You take it. Guy takes his trunks off. It looks like a dolphin got caught in the net. This is supposed to
What
be
did Kyle Kinane call it in his new special?
greatest catch.
Catch of the day or
Catch of the
something
day,
like
yeah.
that.
Where he pulls it.
He says he pulls it out the side and tells people it's the catch of the day or whatever.
Catch of the day. Yeah. So, no, the Target line has nothing to do with children. Don't let facts get in the way. Speaking of movies, by the way, John mentioned that movie Fresh, a horror movie for Mary.
Mm-hmm.
And what's funny is there are all of these intellectual properties where the copyrights are lapsing. And so they made like a horror version of Winnie the Pooh.
Yeah, that made me laugh.
It's
when I
called
saw that.
Blood and Honey. And they made it just to make it. There's all these lapsing copyrights. And so I thought that, by all accounts, I didn't see that movie, but by all accounts, it was just terrible, terrible, terrible. But it made money. Only cost about $100,000. I think they made about $5 million. It didn't get a wide release. But Winnie the Pooh, Blood and Honey was one thing. I guess there's a Peter Pan thing on something that's supposed to be like a super dark Peter Pan. But again, anytime they take these, it's really hard to get around people's notions or how emotionally tied they are to these. So it's real hard to go in with kind of a clean slate. Well, now they're doing it to Cinderella. They're going to have a horror movie version of Cinderella.
Cinderella's already kind of a horror movie.
Is that where she goes to the ball in the pumpkin?
Yes,
Yeah.
but she is a slave in her own home because her dad dies, so her
Wicked
evil
stepsisters.
stepmom. Yeah.
Well, they're
her
going to drill
stepmom,
down on that, I bet.
They lock her in a tower, and her only friends are mice, and she's got to clean
And
up after
birds.
everybody. She's got to
Yeah.
clean up after everybody, and like, I mean, that's kind of a horror movie. She's a prisoner in her own home.
That's a psychological horror movie. This is
Yeah.
going to be like a splatter movie.
Oh,
Cinderella's Curse is starting to film.
Well, at least they didn't do the porno version of it because, the wicked stepmother. Is there anything I can do to get out of this tower?
Uh-huh.
help me, stepmom! I'm stuck in the window.
I'm stuck in this pumpkin.
I've been stuck in a pumpkin.
You've not.
I mean, what? So the director says, the gorehounds are in for a treat in my dark retelling of Cinderella. We're singing my wife was singing that old classic Winnie the Pooh song to my daughter just as a goof, like getting ready or whatever. And my question was, what? Because isn't Winnie the Pooh a boy?
Mm-hmm.
What boy is named Winnie? I mean, 100 years ago.
Winston.
Yeah.
Well, no, Winnie traditionally is a female name that's short for Winifred. It's very old-timey, but Winnie was usually short for Winifred. Now, I think Winifred Pooh is a hilarious name. So I don't know why Winnie became, first of all, I don't know what the hell Pooh is, but Winnie became the boy Pooh's name.
He was also named by a child.
Yeah.
So
But why?
None of it makes any
Because
sense.
Christopher Robin's is sus.
No, but
Yeah.
but that's a really
You
old-timey.
ever see those shorts he's wearing?
There's no netting in those, boy. That's a really old-timey story, and there would have been girls named Winifred back there. The boy's name is Christopher Robin. I'm just curious about that. There may be no answer to it. I mean,
Bambi the deer's a boy, and that's always been weird.
see, I thought Bambi was a girl.
No, Bambi's a boy.
Bambi's a boy.
So in a year that brings you Winnie the Pooh, Blood and Honey, and Cocaine Bear, which I still haven't seen. Anybody seen Cocaine Bear?
Not yet, but I think it's on
Streaming
Peacock.
now. Yeah, it is.
Are we
Wanna
going to
see
get a
it.
Winnie the Cocaine Bear? Winnie the Pooh Cocaine
A crossover?
Winnie the. Wait a minute.
Come on, you got it.
Because he's not Winnie the Pooh Bear. He's just Winnie the Pooh.
But he goes, Pooh Bear.
So Winnie the Pooh Bear. Winnie the.
I mean,
I can't put those two together. It doesn't matter.
Winnie the Cocaine Pooh Bear.
There it is.
I would actually like to watch that Winnie the Pooh, Blood and Honey, but suppose, like from people I've heard that have seen it, it's not like so bad it's good. It's just awful and terrible and no reason for it. But I like the premise. Christopher Robin leaves to become a doctor, goes to college, and leaves the 100-acre wood, in which case, because he's been bringing them food the whole time, they don't know how to feed. They don't know how to get food. So then he's off at college. Winter comes, and they have to eat Eeyore.
Oh, yo.
because they were starving. And so they
I'm
have
just glad to be part of the dinner.
And so they develop a hatred for humanity, especially towards Christopher Robin. So then when he comes back as an adult with his fiance, the animals are all there. And they're all rabid and feral. They're all, Winnie the Pooh and Piglet, and they're all murderers, murderous animals. So I don't know. If somebody has watched that, I'm sure some of you have seen it. You got to tell me if it's any good. Cocaine Bear sucked, somebody says. The original Cinderella had foot mutilation and eye gouging. Well, women have the netting so that when they're in the ocean, it's not like a horse trying to grab a sugar cube with his mouth. I get it, kind of. Alan, my wife has size H boobies. They sway with the current as well. Yeah, those don't really sway. They're probably just like...
Well, they're bobbing.
Well, they are.
They're bobbing.
Floating.
Yeah, okay.
Mine aren't.
Also, we don't believe you.
To and fro.
Send a picture.
Bill's going to need a photo holding up today's paper
With her chest.
so we can verify.
With that rack.
Yeah. Hey, Rat,
Hey, guys, little radio buddies.
what's going on, Rat? How are you?
I was thinking maybe that little bear, after he got some of that 100-acre wood, had very windy poos. You know what I'm saying?
Yes, I do
Hey.
know what you're saying, yes.
Yeah, on the subject of things falling off the shorts, man. Poof, we grew up by Lake Erie, Harborside, condominiums. We weren't rich. I had a pool.
Uh-huh.
And, man, my stepsister, she'd always bring her hot friends from Youngstown. And, they were about 4 years older than me, man. But we'd always have to check with the parents before we walked down into Port Clinton. And so we, walk in there in the pool. My dad's sitting there, and I see the girls kind of giggling, and my sister's turning red. And I'm looking there at my dad. He's on the lounge chair, and it's just one nut, just one long
Just out.
nut hanging there in the sunshine, veins pulsating, And I was so embarrassed.
Pulsating.
Always embarrassed. I always told my dad.
That's
to make
why
sure
you
he
need
had
the
a
netting. That's what the netting is for.
Absolutely. I mean, you got kids there. We were, 12, 10?
Well, if
I
you
mean,
got
hello.
long enough shorts, you're going to be okay. But, I mean, some people have...
Well, my dad was in Vietnam. He's got some long hangers. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Mary, it's so great. Every time I call, you're never there, Mary.
I'm right here.
God, you've missed me calling, Is It Red? You missed the zombie sheep story. Man, I'm going to have to get your guys' emails, start emailing you guys. All right,
I have
okay.
missed it.
Boy, just imagine Rat committing to memory all the things Mary hasn't heard that he's done. And yet,
Truly missing out.
as the fates saw fit, here you are to hear about his dad's one big, long, hanging nut.
There was a guy one time, my girlfriends and I, we were probably in high school, 8th, 9th grade, something like that. We all went to the beach, Huntington Beach, and there was a dude sitting almost in I think it's maybe called a baby doll position, a rag doll position, where you're sitting up with your legs sprayed out to either side. And he had all of it hanging out to one side. All of it.
Yeah, his
Like,
garbage was out there like
on
it
top
washed
of
up.
each other,
Yep.
like tiny little, and I remember tiny little red shorts. He was a very, very tan, like leathery man, like he's on the beach constantly. But he would just had it out, reading a book.
Yeah.
Like it was nothing, didn't touch it, didn't bother him. And we were like, dude, I think that might have been the first one I saw. Now
How'd you
that
get
I'm
the
thinking
beads?
about it.
How'd you get the beads above the frack? Oh, come on. We got a bleeder. All right, I got to take a break here. We'll be back. 6:10 is your Guardians game.